Let me ask you something. Where do you go to find someone to work on your house? Sure, you can ask friends and post on Facebook groups, but can you really trust that they will deliver the quality of work you need? Well, when you sign up for Mannerly, you don't have to worry. Mannerly is a concierge home management service that is your single point of contact for everything having to do with your home. When you contact Mannerly today, they will schedule an appointment with you to walk through your home and provide a personalized home maintenance plan just for you. And they don't just handle routine maintenance. They also are your single point of contact for all your home repair and remodeling needs. So if your AC goes out or another windstorm blows down your tree, just contact Mannerly. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they will provide you with a white glove home service you deserve. Hundreds of families in the Park Cities trust Mannerly to manage their home, and you should too. Just visit their website at mannerly.com. That's MANORLY.com, and let them know Martha from the Bubble Lounge sent you. Welcome to the Bubble Lounge. I'm Martha Jackson, and today we are diving into one of the most important topics facing our community right now, the upcoming HPISD School Bond election on November 5th. After months of collaboration and planning, the HPISD School Board has unanimously approved a single proposition maintenance and efficiency bond that could have a major impact on every campus in our district. In this episode, I invited members from Scots for Scots who are advocating for this bond. We're going to break down the bond proposal and what it means for our schools, from addressing immediate maintenance and safety needs to enhancing campus improvements and supporting teacher salaries. We'll also explore why this bond won't raise the tax rate, even though it appears as a property tax increase on the ballot, and why 100% of the funds will stay local. Whether you're a parent, teacher, or community member, you won't want to miss this conversation about the future of our district and how this bond could shape the next chapter for HPISD. One of the things I wish I had done when my children were younger was hire a nanny. Like a lot of you, I thought I could do it all, from caring for my family to organizing my house to running my business. But the truth is, I couldn't do it all. That's why I am so excited to introduce you to HelloNanny.com, a nanny placement service you can trust to help you find the perfect nanny for your family's needs. Instead of spending countless hours trying to do it yourself, Hello Nanny takes the time to learn about your unique needs and spends hours vetting qualified candidates just for you. In fact, many Park Cities families trust HelloNanny.com and their 20-plus years of experience to find the perfect nanny for their family. You don't have to do it all. Let HelloNanny.com take away your stress and let them find the perfect nanny you can trust. Learn more at HelloNanny.com or call 844-266-2669 to get started today. And let them know Martha from the Bubble Lounge sent you. We have a full house today at the Bubble Lounge. Will you all go around the table and introduce yourselves?
Absolutely. Michael Denton.
My name is Nick Peters. I'm a parent of 3 in the school district. I've got a sophomore daughter. I've got a 7th grade boy and a 5th grade daughter as well.
This is Jane Wallingford. I'm a parent of 2. My children attend Armstrong Elementary. They are 2nd and 4th graders.
Hi, this is Kristen Dauphiné, and I have 2 kids. The oldest is a junior at the high school.
Well, thank you all for taking the time to be here today. Well, before we get started, can you tell me what exactly is the school bond and why do we need $137.3 million?
Well, I'll jump off and kick things off. Quite candidly, our schools are falling apart. We've literally got water coming through the ceiling. We've got instruments that are being held together with tape and glue. We've got kids breaking elbows and breaking legs on turf and play fields. We've got the original plumbing in some of our oldest buildings. The AC doesn't work. We've got security issues to protect our students and staff. We are losing great teachers, and we do not have the ability to attract the best talent due to salary. We have kids that we need to get into parking spaces and off our community streets. And we are spending over $1 million a year just on charter buses.
Wow. Well, that is a lot.
That's not even the whole
You're
list.
just scratching the surface,
I'm
aren't
just
you?
scratching, that's the tip of the iceberg.
Well, that brings me back to, I want to talk about recapture, also known as Robin Hood, and just what that looks like for our district and where our tax dollars are going.
Yeah, well, the simple issue is that we have all these problems, but we don't have the money to fix them. I don't think people realize how much money goes out of our district, how much tax dollar money goes out of our district to other districts in the state. The state of Texas has what we call the law of recapture, where certain school districts basically pay a big portion of their tax revenues over to the state, which gets redistributed or recaptured by the state and distributed to other school districts in the state. And so I don't think people realize that about 60% or 60 cents of every tax dollar raised in the Park cities goes to the state and to other districts in the state, not the Park cities. So to put that into reference, since 1995, almost $2 billion of Highland Park tax dollars have gone to the state and out of the district. So again, the question is, we got these issues, how are we going to pay for them? Well, we just don't have money right now, and that's why we need the bond.
Right. Well, why is the bond so important to HPISD?
Well, the bond's critical because with the tax dollars that stay in the district, 85% of those tax dollars go toward teacher salaries. Those pay our teachers, right? It's critical that we pay our teachers. So that leaves us with about 15% of our budget left over to handle critical maintenance needs, just general operational needs like insurance, stuff like that. And then also goes to utility payments. So we've got a very limited budget, again, at 15% going to critical infrastructure needs, and we just don't have the money to fix problems if they come up and if they're material.
So I keep hearing that our tax rate is not going to go up, yet the ballot has to say that it is going to go up. Can you talk to me about that?
You bet. So the state of Texas legislature, in their great wisdom, has decided that any bond that a school district puts out, the 1,100 school districts in the state of Texas, there's a big giant bold on the ballot said, this is a tax increase, regardless of the tax rate increase or not. And this bond, our tax rate does not increase, period. It's 17 cents whether this bond passes or not. But the legislature requires that. In the 2015 bond, there wasn't that requirement. And you had school districts like Allen and some others that built some very large facilities and put it all in one big bucket. And the legislature said, hey, we really want to break that out and give the voter an opinion on different subject matters. So again, the legislature directs and mandates that verbiage, but our tax rate for this bond does not change. It stays at the 17-cent rate.
Okay. All right. Finding an oral surgeon is hard enough for yourself, and when it comes to your kids, it can feel impossible. We suggest our friends at Stewart and Arango because from emergencies to wisdom teeth and everything in between, they have you covered. Stewart and Arango are board certified with MDs who specialize in full scope oral, facial, and implant surgeries for both children and adults. Not only is their office state of the art, they lead the industry with the most advanced techniques and procedures. And when it comes to safety, they are pediatric and adult advanced life support certified and use a 3-day local anesthesia, which keeps you comfortable while limiting the use of opioids. Best part is, they're conveniently located at Northwest Highway and Hillcrest Avenue. So if you want the best of Big D caliber oral care, come see the friendly staff at Stewart and Arango. To learn more about them or book your appointment, visit saoralsurgeons.com. That's saoralsurgeons.com. Let's talk about our teachers for a minute. The district, through the Golden Pennies election just a few years ago, were able to raise the teachers' salary. How will the bond be able to take their salary up a few notches?
You know, we have some of the best teachers in Dallas and the whole state here in Highland Park. But the problem is we can't keep them. Everything we are doing, we are working so hard to increase their salaries. The school district has increased the salaries by 13% in the past 3 years. And yet we remain near the bottom or at the very bottom of Dallas County and Northern Texas schools in teacher pay. We have to be able to move the needle, and this is what this bond is going to help us do. Our goal, the school district's goal, is to get our teachers paid in the top quartile of comparison districts. And every $2.5 million we can save through this bond is a 4% raise for our teachers.
Right, right.
And so what's important is that bond dollars cannot actually be spent to pay teachers. So a critical aspect of this bond is using bond dollars to reduce our M&O budget, our maintenance and operational budget, right? So like I said earlier, 15% of our budget is dedicated toward maintenance and operational needs. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take bond dollars. And like Jane said, we're going to use about 2.5, well, we're going to use a significant portion of the bond dollars to decrease our M&O budget by $2.5 million annually. And so, like Jane said, that annual reduction in budget will free up dollars that we can then use to pay teachers, which would equate to roughly, based on today's numbers, a 4% raise across the board for teachers.
Nick, and I think it's important to point out, you mentioned this earlier, when we are looking at the 85% and the 15% in terms of the bond money or the tax money that we keep, that doesn't get us to even. So we still require in order to break even as a district that we are getting money from La Fiesta, that we are getting money from Dad's Clubs and PTAs and all the other fundraising. So I really think it's important for our listeners to understand that the tax money still puts the district at a deficit, and all the fundraising that everybody does at each of the campuses and throughout and Mad for Plaid and what have you is all trying to essentially put the finger in the dam to get the district to even. This bond is so critical because it's going to take pressure off maintenance and operations. It's going to give us the funds we need to do kind of the heavy lifting projects. And then all the money that we're fundraising, all the money that we bring in through pennies and what have you can go to the operations of the schools and the teachers and the salaries. And that is so critical to getting us from a defensive position to an offensive position and putting us in a very competitive position, which as Scots is where we want to be.
Absolutely. Well, so I've seen the report and all the line items of the proposed projects. Let's talk about some of the projects at all the different schools.
I think there is a lot to be excited about in this bond. A lot of parents, a lot of students have been waiting for some of these updates to our campuses. My kids are not even in the high school yet, but I have heard the nightmares about the parking, and I've heard the troubles that they have getting the kids to the cafeteria. The bond is going to take care of that. We're going to get more parking at the high school, so kids aren't parking on the street and driving around the block looking for a parking spot. We are going to update the cafeteria. At MIS and HPMS, we are going to regrade and turf the field. And that is going to eliminate the safety concerns, the drainage problems that we have there, and make it playable year-round. At the elementary schools, one that's near and dear to my heart as my children are at Armstrong, it is an original building. It is quaint, it is cute, but boy, does it have problems. The piping, the plumbing underneath the building is original to the building. It has to be replaced. It's not, I wouldn't say that changes there are quite as exciting, but it's going to look, it's going to be a better place for our kids to be in school. And then the other schools, the elementary schools, are beautiful buildings. They're fair, they're new, they feel new. But as a house, we all live in houses. A 10-year-old house is going to have some ongoing maintenance concerns, and this is going to give this district a little bit of breathing room and budget to make the repairs as they come up.
And Jane, as we think about our new elementaries, it's hard to believe that Boone Elementary is nearing 10 years. It seems like yesterday that school, you just think about it, well, gosh, that's brand new. It's almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the main things that I keep hearing about is the HVAC system at the middle school. I've seen pictures. It is constantly breaking. The pipes look awful. It's ruined the theater stage at least once, right? So tell us a little bit more about that, because it sounds pretty intense.
Yes, well, the HVAC system, unfortunately, was put in during a time that the Texas law required the school district to choose the lowest bid.
Yep.
And so you can imagine what kind of work was put into there. And so the pipes and the valves have not met the expected life cycle. And so here we are stuck with a very expensive problem that the school board had decided we have to fix this now while the kids, before the kids went back to school this fall. We've been lucky that the kids have been able to stay in school and not miss any school days with the damage that has been done. But that part of the bond is going to pay for the massive repairs that are being done there.
Well, and that estimated cost right now is $8 to $12 million. And so we have an ability with the bond to retroactively pay the district back for that expense. So a successful passing of the bond, a yes vote for the bond, allows those dollars to repatriate into the district, go right back in our coffers. That's extremely important. We don't have those dollars to spend, but the alternative is that if it didn't get fixed, or if that water problem continued during school, we would be moving our kids from MIS, HPMS into our elementary schools.
I wanted to give a personal thank you to our good friend and show sponsor, Kathy L. Wall State Farm Agency. We have known Kathy for more than 15 years, and there is no person we trust more when it comes to insurance than Kathy L. Wall. Kathy is always available to help you find the right insurance for your family needs. Whether it's covering your home, auto, or providing a life insurance policy tailored to the unique needs of families in Highland Park. My family trusts Kathy with our insurance, and we hope you will too. Please visit kathylwall.com to learn more and let her know that Martha from the Bubble Lounge sent you. Well, I'm hearing a lot of reasons of why we should vote for the bond, but let's just say it doesn't pass, then what happens?
Well, if it doesn't pass, the district is in a critical position that it is going to go right back out for a bond referendum again.
We'll be right back in front of you having this conversation
exactly right.
a few months later.
It's coming right back.
Okay.
There's no avoiding it. And I think one of the key things to think about in the state of Texas is that this is the one avenue that we have as a district to raise the funds that we need to support maintenance and operations. We are not the only district. There are many other districts in the state of Texas. Eanes ISD outside of Austin is kind of the gold standard. They offer bonds every 3 to 5 years for these purposes and these types of projects that we're proposing here. And so it really is getting Highland Park ISD into kind of that best in class in terms of utilizing the financial tools available to us to meet the needs that we have, both for the present day, but also be planning for the future. And again, putting ourselves in a very competitive district.
And Martha, I don't want us to go cross-eyed with the following statement on bond structure, but in the state of Texas, school districts have an ability to go out for bonds, and a lot of those bonds are 30 and 40-year term bonds. HPISD is extremely tax efficient, and we look at 1-year, 5-year, 10-year, and 20-year bonds. So if you have a short-term need, you do short-term debt, not 30 and 40-year debt. So our district, its leadership, and our trustees have been very intentional and great stewards of how we structure. We raise dollars and we get rid of our debt extremely quickly.
So you all have shared so much information today, but just let me know, why do you care so much about this bond?
Well, I'm a very proud band mom, and I have a kid who has found his home in fine arts. And when we've been in the district for 10 years, and until I was head of fundraising for the band last year, I didn't realize how dire the situation was. And when you start to look at band and orchestra and choir and theater and the facilities and just the whole environment around fine arts is one of our 4 pillars of pride. And it doesn't get a lot of support, and it doesn't get a lot of the dollars. And there's so much fundraising that needs to go into just supporting these guys that for me, we need diverse homes for these kids. And when you have instruments that don't work, when you have kids working 40 hours a week, in marching band, when you have uniforms with mold on them, we have students that are kind of by hook and by crook keeping up the tradition of the bagpipes, and we've got bagpipes that are laying in parts on the back of a storage room. Like it's a bad situation. And so for me, I'm so passionate about supporting these kids that put their heart and soul into Friday Night Lights and then Saturday competitions and showing up in, the drum line and making sure they have, sending off all the kids when they go to state and showing up at convocations. They need dollars behind them to make sure that those instruments and those uniforms and those buses and those trucks can get them where they need to go. And that is above and beyond what a booster can raise.
My husband and I moved here 8 years ago from out of state, and we chose Highland Park as our home. We looked around. We could have moved anywhere in the Dallas area, but we chose Highland Park because of the schools. And I tiptoed into volunteering and then kind of dove in head first. And as I got to know the school system, the teachers, the administrators, and the parents, I realized that we are building upon a legacy of wonderful people and volunteers who have given so much time and their resources to the school. And I believe it is our responsibility to continue that and build upon this legacy of excellence.
Yeah, and for me, I grew up here. I went to Armstrong and then McCullough and graduated in '98 from the high school. So my wife and I were very fortunate to be able to move back into this school district. And we love this community. And it's a world-class community. That's why we're here. And world-class communities need world-class facilities and world-class teachers. And this bond helps us get there. More specifically on the teachers, my mom was a teacher here for about 18 years. She was a librarian at Higher, and she was an awesome librarian. And I could tell you that the job didn't start at 7 or end at 3:30 when the bell rung, and it didn't end over the summer either. We've got amazing teachers, and I think everybody at this table has had some sort of overwhelmingly positive experience with a teacher in the school district, hopefully more than one teacher. And so if there is anything we can do, whether it's through donating to Mad for Plaid, donating to our PTAs, PTOs, dads clubs, donating to the Lead for Tomorrow campaign, if there's anything we can do to put more money in the teachers' pockets, we should do it. And the fact that we're able to free up about $2.5 million annually to then go back in our teachers' pockets, I mean, that for me is the most critical aspect of this deal.
Martha, thanks for the question. I like Nick grew up in this community. I went to UP. My kids all went to Bradfield. I'm fortunate, actually blessed, that I've gotten to serve in Dad's Club and the Education Foundation, the Community Advisory Committee, and a whole bunch of other things. And we're all busy. We time is the most valuable thing that we have, but our greatest assets that we have are our children. And our children deserve to be, as Nick said, to be taught by the best educators available in the best facilities available. We as a community don't accept anything but that. We're all type A plus, maybe an A minus here and there, but we're all that community that pours into excellence. We believe in excellence. It's something that we demand. Our kids do it. Our community does it. This is legacy. This is, we hear Scots find a way. We do find a way. This community is worth fighting for. This independent school district is worth fighting for, and we need this. And when we need something, not just want something, but when we need something, we as a community rally together and we go get it done. And so the teachers that are teaching our young people are the ones that are shaping their lives and helping them be the type of community that we want to see in the future. We see what's on the news. We see what's going on. This is an amazing place to be. And again, like I said, it's something to protect. We're very proud of it, and we're very passionate.
Well, you all have done such an excellent job of just going through all the details and really helping us understand what's going on and what the reasons are for it. I know that there's a lot of information posted online, and I will include all those links so you guys can find them easily. But what do we do next? How can we help?
We want everyone to go vote yes on Proposition A, the HPISD Bond 2024. Early voting starts October 21st, goes through November 1st, and the election date is November 5th. There's a couple other big things on the ballot. And then visit us at scotsforscots.com, sign up for a yard sign, and help us spread the word.
We want your 18-year-olds, we want your 19-year-olds, we want the grandparents in the neighborhood that may not be as involved in the schools. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, really get the word out. Not everybody understands why we need the bonds. They may not be getting all the information through the school system like so many of us are. Please communicate how important this is for the legacy of our community.
And just a word of caution, again, to remind everybody, when you get in the voting booth, you're going to stand at that box. You're going to vote for everything. And then when this initiative comes up, it's going to say, this will raise your taxes. This will not raise your taxes. Your tax rate will be the same the day before Election Day as it is after Election Day, regardless of how you vote. So vote yes.
If we summed it up in three things, our district needs this. We have things that we need to fix. We have teachers that we need to keep, teachers that we need to hire. Our children deserve the best facilities, the best education. Go vote yes. Go tell your neighbors to vote yes. Go vote early. Spread the word. Scots find a way.
Go Scots! Thank you all so much for being here today. That's been another episode of the Bubba Lounge. I'm Martha Jackson. I'll see you next time.